Peace. Happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Right now, after getting that little notice on my YouTube video, the video I just did recently on Stanley Kubrick and Disney, and with the fact that, and if you check my Instagram, I post about it, like, well, YouTube is not even just considering if what a person's content is fact or not. They're just automatically scratching it off as an opinion and as some type of propaganda. So it's like, we're gonna post this information on your video, and as much as we could laugh and clown and joke, that's a serious step over the line of dealing with freedom of speech and expression, and in essence knocking people's hard-earned research. Here it is that I research this information. I have that right to share it. Now, of course, that's what happens when we, with these, like a YouTube channel, like these websites and certain things that we sign up for. In essence, I ain't gonna say they're within the rights to do, unrighteous things, but to an extent, it is their company, it is their thing. So, it makes no sense for us to just stand on a soapbox, on like, oh, they this, they that. It is what it is. Now, of course, I'm make it known, like, hey, this is, it's a step in a strong direction of like censorship. Like, I felt like I was in North Korea. Like, I had a flash of being in North Korea, seeing that. It's like, cause here it is, like, say for instance, that's like if I do a video talking about Kim Jong-il got people in concentration camps, and this and that, and then I post it on some type of video platform, and then that video platform puts a little link on my video that says Kim Jong-il is the best person in the world, and this and that, and go check out this link about his life and how great he is. But what I just did the video talking about, look, I did the research, and it's obvious that other people could see that, something going on, but they feel like, oh, well, what you saying ain't right, or what you saying is, misinformation. And that's another thing too. Please realize, though, as much as sometimes I like to, deliver, sometimes I like to deliver information without, like, more from an intuitive place, instead of like, here in 1976, this happened, in 1977, that happened, on Monday of January, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not always giving those dates, but, you see the importance in backing up your research, because, here it is, well, this entity like a YouTube coming in and saying like, oh, what you saying is, stupid, or what you saying is not, factual. So like with something like that, it's like you start to see why it's important to cite information. Which what's funny is, I guess that's why intuitively I felt, so strong about doing a video with that book and showing the picture and saying, look at what it's saying, and showing that, like say for instance, the part in the book that spoke on, Disney being in cahoots with Stanley Kubrick in the filming of the moon landing, then it had a site of where that information came from, and I shared that on the video, but you start to see the importance of just backing up your information, in essence as well, and do unto others as you want done to yourself. At the end of the day, like say for instance, I ain't for them games with them trying to say, hey, Universal, you robbed the bank the other day, or you did this the other day, and we just feel that because we talked to a few people and they say you did it, so we going with that. You gotta be aware that you shouldn't do the same thing, even though, say for instance, the government doing some unrighteous things, whatever, you know, that still doesn't mean to step in the shoes of what they doing and start lying and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you combat their lies with truth. You know, and not propaganda. So, you know, making sure, you know, when sharing information in those situations that you know, is as real as possible, as, you know, quote unquote truthful as possible. You know, when sharing that information, because we don't want to be doing the same thing. Because here it is, if you go to throwing propaganda on certain people, you know, they're able to, you know, don't be surprised if that energy, you know, again, just cause and effect, nothing bad or good, but just don't be surprised if that energy come back around to you. So, you know, you do see the importance of, you know, not just putting anything out there in essence, or if you are saying, you know, something that doesn't really, you know, that's kind of new and don't really have a lot of evidence, you know, just want to make people aware of that, like, well, you know, hey, I studied so much of this, or I did this much, you know, and this is what I came up with, or whatever. But, you know, again, just you're starting to see that next level of spiritual warfare, you know, and you know, just having to cover our asses in that area, you know. You start to see the real chess game. Because another thing too, I done spoke to in the past, but like indirectly, you know, why a lot of my videos do have like titles where you know, you can't really tell what I'm talking about, like, or you would have to click and sit there and listen. And since some of my videos are long, you know, YouTube people not gonna sit there and listen to all of that, you know what I'm saying? That's a strategy, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I did it purposely, sometimes I've done it without knowing, like what spirit just guide me, you know, to, you know, to talk a little bit longer. And honestly, now looking back, I see why a lot of times, like, I sit there, you know, and drop into other subjects, stuff like that, you know, that's to throw off, you know, because matter of fact, that's how they watching videos too, is like keywords, because, you know, you could tag your videos. So if I tag, say for instance, NASA, Stanley Kubrick, this and that, YouTube got, matter of fact, like computer science got an algorithm. They got like a little, some software with an algorithm that's like, if these videos give out these code names, let's run it through our little checkup form, and that's, you know, and we got to check those out, the ones that got these certain keywords. You know, so when I make videos, like say for instance, that video where I speak on like crackhead and spirituality, you know, they're like, crackhead, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then within it, I'm, you know, sharing, you know, these jewels and stuff like that, you know. But you just really get to see how much is, you know, a chess game it is, you know. Like even remind me of you know, like even with telling stories, you know what I'm saying, like telling stories and stuff like that. And matter of fact, I think about A.A. Rashid, where a lot of times he do his videos where he either going heavy on some hood shit, or he like cursing a lot, you know, and in a manner that, you know, a person who in that dogmatic new age view of spirituality, like, well, no, you got to be positive to deal with this energy, like you can't curse or you can't do this, you know, them people gonna be turned away, you know. But the people who, you know, like, no, I know this, you know, I know this ain't no bad thing, or, you know, I'm gonna sit around and listen and see what he got to say. And then after, you know, maybe like 10 minutes of like talking shit, then he goes into the, you know, the straight drop information, you know. But again, we teach his own with our little strategies on how we do that, you know. And you start to see too, like, you know, the evidence speak for itself on who's speaking knowledge that really is spiritually liberating. Like, that's the people who being bothered by YouTube and stuff like that. People that don't really have those, you know, and I say like all people that don't have, but, you know, in a lot of cases, a person not really dealing with those type of quarrels, and they YouTube channels on a high level, then maybe they're not saying something that's, you know, like, it's certain things that's real important to us, you know, waking up spiritually and being aware of. Whereas like some things are like, oh, we don't give a fuck, you know, talk on this, talk on that. But oh no, not that subject. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying? It's like you really see, you know, what information. So I give you an idea too, like with anything, like whatever they really dislike or trying to hide, then you know that's the stuff with the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with like with the people who they overly promote. In fact, speaking to the video that sparked me into doing my video in essence, Phil Valentine video about Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know, or just the whole Jesuit, you know, astro uh, physicist vibe, you know. It's like that's promoted, you know, if that's promoted by the government, if Bill Nye the science guy and all that's promoted by the government, then you know, like say for instance, slave owners don't promote like, hey, are you a slave abolitionist or whatever you call it? Are you you know, a rebel? Are you a person who talked to slaves and helped them to become free? Well, I want you to come and talk to my slaves. Like, nah, what slave master does that? Unless he want to, you know, free his slaves. But, you know, no slave master or person who's trying to oppress or trying to harm somebody is going to just, you know, wake up one day and like, you know what, since I own Hollywood and I own the media and stuff like that, you know, I'm tired of harming people. I'm gonna just start promoting the actors and entertainers who really help people. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, they still, you know, promoting what's good for their agenda. You know, and some actors and entertainers playing the chess game. Some of them not. Some of them playing like a lot of people be hedging their bets in that vibe. You know, to each his own. You know, but like, well, you know, they do a little bit of what the agenda wants out of them, you know what I'm saying, to make sure they get their money. But then they also doing a little bit to make sure people not looking at them like they're Illuminati either. You know, trying to balance it out, like, well, you know, sprinkle the people with a little bit, and then do what I gotta do to, you know. And again, to each his own with that vibe anyway. You know, we all got different paths and different journeys, and, you know, came down here for different reasons, you know, so it is what it is, but you know, definitely start to see the importance of, especially right now with doing the research and backing up the information, because if YouTube feeling the, you know, again, that's a step across that line, you know, that's real, you know, that's almost a step in the, again, that's like that dystopia, passive aggressive, you know, slavery in essence. You know, it's like, well, here I'm gonna just post this information since you lying in your video, even though you did research and stuff like. And that's the thing, though. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It got to do with the fact that what I'm speaking on is some real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too, where it becomes so. Let me speak on this too. You know, which I spoke to a little bit earlier, you know, where I was saying like, well, some of my videos, you know, I don't have all the, in 1792 this happened, and, you know, the smaller particle of electron is called it. You know, of course I have, you know, a lot of details for some things, but, you know, some things I don't go all the way into detail for, but that's because I'm intuitively connected to knowing that this is, you know, some, the real information in that sense, you know. So with sharing though, like if you're sharing something from your intuition, you know, you could kind of let the viewers know, like, hey, this is a download, you know, I'm getting this from my own inner intuition, you know. I can't say this is necessarily something that you all should follow, but, you know, I'm sharing it because my intuition feels strongly about this, you know what I'm saying? You know, in that type of manner, you know. And of course, I know I done made probably made little slip ups here where I done said some shit, but I know I cleaned it up with a laugh or so, you know, like say for instance saying something that I might have intuitively felt about, you know, the oppressors and certain people trying to oppress people, you know, saying certain things in a manner where it's like from my intuition, I didn't really know. I didn't know. Or not say no. I didn't have the facts to show people that, you know, hey, this is what's popping off in this area. But my intuition was like, bro, like it's undeniable. Like, you know, only your logic monkey mind to take you away from what we telling you right now. Like this is what it is. And it just again becomes somewhat of a tricky place with sharing information. You know sometimes we're sharing information from having everything cited. Sometimes we're sharing information from our intuition. The intuition is real. I always bring up the example of the man who knew infinity. If you haven't watched that movie, you might want to check it out. But the man who knew infinity, by this Indian brethren, based on a true story, this Indian brethren who he figured out this like this mathematical formula, but it came to him intuitive, like, it wasn't from him like logically trying to find a formula, like he just got it in his mind, and every time they used it and put it into, the mathematical sequence, it worked, and it was something new, so it was showing, how to do something new. As a matter of fact, and then you see the little battle between, the intuitive mind and the logical mind in the format of European society being a little more, left brain logical and scientific, compared to the melanated people that have like a more of an intuitive connection. Again, as I'm saying this, showing that dynamic within the movie, of course, there's no black and white vibe as far as like somebody could be intuitive or logical no matter what their bodysuit tone color tone is. But there is a certain energy that does come with melanin that amplifies that connection to the ethers. It's a fact. That's why motherfuckers could dance, and it's feeling the energy. But again, with that vibe, like the scientists, the brethren, the white brethren was like, oh no, we've been doing years of this and that, and even though it works, that's the thing. Like, even though your formula works, you gotta spend time and this and that, basically just hating on them and trying to stop them from publishing this book. And again, being that just over logical person that it just couldn't fathom that somebody could just get this information without having to use logic. And it's like, well, no, the proof in it. And then what was fire about it is like, this is a mathematical formula that you could actually plug into an equation and use and see that it works. And that's what they were doing, seeing that it worked. But he tried to push that man back. I forgot like how it actually went down the movie, trying to like cause the brethren who came up with that formula too, he was trying to publish that information. But they bringing that man through hell, hating on him and stuff like that, But just point being, again, we may get intuitive information, that's just straight up facts, But again, we're delivering it on a platform like YouTube, and like after seeing what I just saw, we definitely gotta be a little more aware of how we share, certain facts on YouTube. Or certain opinions, or certain intuitive insights, because they definitely on their North Korea stuff right now, And again, and with me again explaining myself, like, I'm not just saying YouTube or some North Korea stuff, like, nah, just explain, well, even if YouTube watch this video, it's like if you come for my throat even more, then you just proving even more, what I'm saying is real and true. Matter of fact, as I'm thinking about that, and as I this video has a double entendre to the point of, like, running about certain things. And I just think about, certain aspects. Like, this would be fire to put in a movie. This would be fire idea to put in a movie, but like showing like, some new age vibes, like the beginning of the new age vibes were like, because these certain oppressing people trying to, monitor everything, they looking through cell phones, they, listening through electronics. They got their version of Google Earth, which I'm pretty sure is way more amazing than the Google Earth that everybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry could go use Google Earth and see somebody else's house very closely. Pretty sure they got one that's just as good as well, But this would be a fire concept to show like on some new age vibe where, whether it be mushrooms or acid. I don't know if DMT is pretty intense, but you still could do with DMT, but like where, showing how, say for instance, like certain people to deliver certain information without others, being able to like, illegally tap their phone or illegally, cause here it is that the government do this illegal shit to us, but we the ones who gotta talk like we the ones doing something wrong. That lets you know right there, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, like a movie setting where people like in order to share information, like take a little tab of LSD, and go sit out somewhere and have a discussion on a telepathic level. As a matter of fact, that's why I first realized that telepathy was real was when I dealt with psychedelics, So I think that'd be a cool concept for a movie, or people taking a little shrooms or taking a little acid, and whenever they wanna, talk something that they don't want no phones or nothing to, pick up on, you could communicate through telepathy, And again, I'm saying this as a movie idea, I'm not, just movie ideas, And that would be pretty cool. I watched that movie. Using psychedelics on that level, that's a pretty smart thing to do. But yeah, and because no, in which again, I'm pretty sure things that could step to that level of reading, brain waves and stuff like that. But I know, like things are advancing, but not that advanced to that point just yet. But again, for a movie concept, that would be pretty cool. Yeah. But again, sharing information, Matter of fact, and as I'm saying this too, speaking, because I gotta, keep it. Matter of fact, we did in Venus retrograde, dealing with relationships and relationships with people who, watch my video and be on my Instagram and stuff like that. Please realize, cause lately, like when I post these little reposts of like, other people's videos, I'm just reposting it because I think it's just something that should be reposted, and be seen. If I don't say, hey y'all, I'm reposting this because this is an absolute fact that all of you should listen to and follow, or else. You know what I'm saying? That like I speak very fluently, I articulate myself well. If I mean what I say and I say what I mean. I don't throw subliminals. I don't get this far spiritually from throwing subliminals or wanting to say something but say it differently in a more hidden way or this and that, you know what I'm saying? Of course, again, we got the chess game of like, speaking on certain things, but when I'm sharing things or whatever, like, again, I spoke to this in another video, but I had a post about polygamy, and it's like, if I don't say, hey everybody, you should be a polygamist right now because that's the right way to do it and all of you should do it, then, then it makes no sense to comment, you know, on my picture in that manner, in which I get what be going on, too. It's my own inner test for me to deal with, people kind of, you know, how could I say? Sometimes I have like in my egoic nature state, I have a certain impatience for like ignorance or a certain, not even say ignorance, but like a lack of patience for a certain level of ego. And I guess, or just a lack of patience when I feel like my intellect is being insulted. It's like I don't know. It's just like whenever people obviously be trying to pick a fuss with me, and I obviously didn't say whatever they trying to say I said. That just kind of, sometimes it gets to me. And it be like for me to deal with that and accept that, like, hey, sometimes people just like that, where they looking to pick a fight. And two, probably showing me that because, that aspect that exists in me. Like, sometimes you might still talk in a way that, is looking to pick to pick an argument with somebody, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, people gonna do it to your stuff, you know what I'm saying? To shine that light on the situation. But, if I'm, whatever I say, I mean, whatever I mean, I say, just be like, did you mean? Oh, I thought you mean. As a matter of fact, look at what the first thing in saying that I thought you meant. I thought. You're in your thoughts. Why would you be in your thoughts? When I obviously said what I had to say, it's like, there's no reason for you to be in your thoughts about it. Listen to what I said. Well, it just felt like, well, no, it ain't gonna feel like nothing. If I want to deliver that message that you're assuming that I was delivering, it's gonna be delivered in a manner where you won't be able to deny that I'm delivering that message. Again, like it's articulate myself well purposely. And again, can't let it get, not say can't, but it's difficult for it to get to me because again, I know how energy works. It's amplifying something. Allowing me to have awareness about that situation because it's some type of energy that exists within me that may be doing the same thing or some of that nature, or just shine a light on that I need to just have more patience in that area, because I do have that vibe again, like just that insult to intelligence, or when certain people ask questions that they could Google, and I do have like sometimes that ego want to pop up like, bro, that shit, and I have to catch myself because no question is stupid. There's not a question in this world that's stupid. I don't care how stupid it is. I don't care how stupid the question may be or seem. It's still not stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is wrong with questioning, any and all things, But again, I just know that me, myself, and my uniqueness, I'm not meant to deal with any and all questions. And I don't have to, because matter of fact, we get caught up in this vibe of feeling like we gotta be nice, It's like, no, spirituality is about being authentic, and authentically, I don't like to answer questions that people could Google. That's just me being my authentic self. I just make sure I'm not in the vibe of like feeling like, oh, they stupid or this and that. Again, like realizing ain't no stupid question, and and I always encourage people too. Like in a little paradoxical way, I'm like, still ask questions. You throw a question at me. I'm not gonna bite your head off or anything. I just won't reply if it's something that what I'm saying, that I feel like I don't want to reply to, or that you could Google. I'm not gonna reply to it. That know, it's nothing bad, or don't mean I hate you or dislike. You know, it's just I'm not dealing with it. You know, it is what it is. You know, and again, we dealing with relationships right now, so I'm just building my relationship with y'all. You know, let y'all know how I vibe. You know, I don't again whatever I'm feeling or whatever message I want to relay, you know, I'm gonna relay it in a manner that's gonna make sure you understand what I'm really saying. You know, I'm not gonna deliver it in a manner that's gonna have you like, well, I wonder what he, you know. And that's where a lot of us mess up too with communication. It's like well, we be knowing in our mind that we could articulate ourselves much better, but you know, instead we articulate ourselves in a way that's still kind of subliminally giving the message instead of straight up giving the message. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, say what you gotta say instead of like, you know, like tiptoeing around it. You know, it's like, cause that's the way for us to notice, like, our true or closest friends growing up is, you know, our people, our partners that kept it the realest with us. You know what I'm saying? For some of us, you know, could be in a fake vibe or inauthentic vibe. We got inauthentic and fake friends, but for, you know, for those of us who really, you know, have those genuine relationships, again, it's from keeping it, you know, from communicating fully, like, instead of giving a subliminal of like, oh yeah, man, you know, boy, I can't stand when hair get in my toothbrush or something like that. You know, say, fam, you know how we do, like on a roommate vibe. Oh yeah, man, oh man, yeah. When I was a little kid, and the hair used to get in my toothbrush and this and that, but it used to drive me crazy. All right, and they're saying that, say for instance, somebody like making it seem like they're reminiscing. Oh yeah, like when something this and that used to happen. The hair used to get in my toothbrush and I can't stand it. I couldn't stand it. You know, their point with telling that story was to let their roommate know that, hey, you should clean up and wash your hair in the bathroom because it's getting on my toothbrush. Well, why in the fuck don't you say that? Say that to the person instead of like, oh yeah, man, well, you know, this and that and then way left field, be tapping around the bush. Like, beat that bush up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, speak on what it is, you know, because that's, again, that becomes a societal norm of like just everybody beating around the bush. You know what I'm saying? It create this fake vibe of people being scared to express themselves fully to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, express yourself fully. You know, like reason why you got this type of relationship with somebody where you know, y'all feel close, but it feel like it's kind of like if a certain situation pop off, you don't really know what would go down with that friend at the end of the day or this and that, because y'all not communicating fully. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain subjects that y'all might feel taboo and not talking on this and that, so y'all not gonna have a full, you know, relationship in essence, and you always feel like, I don't really like know this, but like I vibe with them. Like, we both like Rocco's Modern Life and like skateboarding. But you know how, like, it's something else that, you know, that ain't, you know, that because you're not communicating, you're not, you know, fully expressing yourself, throwing subliminals instead of just saying like, you know, I vibe like this or I vibe like that, you know. It's like, oh, well, you know, no, it's like little side stories again, like, oh, you know, this used to happen to my toothbrush, and when the hair got in, I didn't like it. Are you? As a matter of fact, I'm the type of person, I'll be like, wait, are you trying to tell me something? Like, oh, did I leave any hair on your toothbrush in the back? And what's funny, being psychic, that's how I come at people, like, in that vibe. It's like, oh, man, my bad. And they'll do the little lie, oh, well, no, I wasn't, I was just telling a story. No, you wasn't. You know, you was beating around the bush to deliver that message to me. You know, and two, as a person, like, as a, you know, person sensitive to energy or a psychic, you know, like, that's them people that, you know, you should definitely start to, you know, pull yourself away from. Because if a person cannot, you know, just keep it all the way real with you, that's going to constantly fuck with your psyche. You know, the fact that, they constantly, like, you're gonna be having to, like, you're gonna be reading something totally different, but they doing something different. Your psyche gonna be like your left brain or your human brain and your intuition gonna kind of be battling it out about what you're seeing in essence. Because it's like, this person seems cool and talking cool and, you know, seems to be expressing themselves pretty truthfully, but at the end of the day, it's like intuitively, your high self and your inner guy, like, nah, this person bullshitting you, this and that, and so it's gonna have you all messed up in the mind, like, matter of fact, like my situation in LA where I came across some people that, just, man, they got some good actors out there, extremely well. Now throw off your psyche having you thinking you tripping, you know, because you picking up on the energy, but their actions and words are just like totally, in the disguise mode, throw you, throw you off. But expressing ourselves truthfully, again, while on YouTube, or just any platform, the spiritual warfare game is, the ante is being up right now, you know what I'm saying? So it's very important, and too, for us to continuously keep sharing knowledge, sharing information. If you feel it in your heart that the information is, more true, like, because that's another thing too, like, where I posted something in the bedroom was like, on the small details of it, like us dealing with the Martin Luther King, say for instance, dealing with the Martin Luther King assassination, and the information about how America got charged with the crime in essence, but a brethren posted how, like the details were this person and so and so wasn't the person, this and that, in which he was commenting off of because sometimes when I repost what the information that the person put as well. So he was kind of going at that information, and I was like, hey, I just reposted it. I didn't post it again. Back to where, like, if I mean for a meme or anything to like be like this is the end all be all, then I'ma caption it and say, hey y'all, this is like just straight up fact, bro. Y'all should definitely, or something of that nature. I just repost, which me and the brethren, again, it was cool, but he was like, just sharing, that vibe. It's like, I'm just, again, just sharing to get the information out there, because in my heart, as I came across it, and be real with you, because I done came across it so many times of, like, not only, what really happened with MLK, but the vibe of America, being charged with it, in America doing that in general, like they, after, say for instance, after 10 years or so, for sure after 10 years, they gotta, like, speak on certain things, like certain espionage and stuff like that, where, like, say for instance, I don't know if time is up yet, but they gotta speak on how they wrongfully fuck with Saddam Hussein and stuff like that. They gotta drop those documents and show how they, what I'm saying, did that shit. It's not just gonna be super public, but it's gonna be somewhere where if you know about it, you can go and look at it, and that's how they play the game, where it's out there, but you gotta be, hounding for the information. And that's the chess game of what they do, because say for instance, that's why YouTube put that thing on my video, because they know, hey, there's a bunch of people out there that's not gonna read, don't give a fuck about really research, this and that. And so we could have how can I say, like, we have a certain strength in, like, in doing this, because of the some people out there that still think that, the moon landing real, it's like we could still actually push this out here and make it seem like universal frequencies lying on, on the situation. It's like, so, just again stepping our game up in that area, You know, making sure we delivering information if it's coming from intuition, and make sure we speaking that, hey, this is coming from intuition. May as viewers, you don't have to necessarily follow what I'm saying, this and that, but I'm just sharing this with y'all because my higher self and intuition feel strong about me sharing this. But just making sure we quote unquote covering our asses, with bringing up information and stuff like that. But that's basically it. Just making sure we articulating ourselves fully, and well, making sure if we speaking on, information that may go against the educational system and what they're trying to promote, just making sure, we cite as many, references as possible, and again, just being aware and not being fear-mongered either, like I'm just aware, like, all right, they stepping the game stepping up. I got the awareness, now I know gotta step my game up, that's all it is, But I definitely wanted to share that. Matter of fact, in them relationships, we're communicating, again, articulating ourselves well and fully, because a lot of like mishaps in relationships, it'd be not fully communicating. Person put their foot on a coffee table, you don't like it. You don't like when people put their foot on your coffee table, but you don't say shit because society, again, that subconscious or subconscious programming of like, I gotta be nice, overly nice instead of authentic, in this moment. It's like, that's not true. Like, be authentic and back, hey, excuse me, I don't like when people put their foot on my coffee table. Much love, here, take this whatever and put your foot on this, or you know what I'm saying, but speak, let a person know what's really, going on and what you really feel. Again, that's why you feel this pretentious vibe, coming from a person in essence that you might deal with, because, there's not a full expression. And another thing too with that vibe is like, well, we could feel a person thinking or going through all kind of thoughts and being on some other wavelengths, but then again, just showing us this poker face in essence, Of course, Capricorns be notorious for the poker face. That's why. That's why that and our practicality is why we some people you don't really want to beef with. But like this, like you won't know where it's coming from. The practicality of knowing like, shit, best way to do this is to be discreet. But I digress. Basically it, y'all. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrator course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now.